Hello and welcome to Pokemon Horizons, episode 71 review. So this episode is about Rising Volt Tactics meeting Briar at the Crystal Pool, which is a pretty cool premise in of itself. The read up on lore about the Crystal Pool and how it's formed and how you can meet the dead there, and get ambushed by a Milotic, which your kids deal with. What I think is so cool about this is obviously a reference to the encounter in game, but it goes on a deeper level as the Milotic has a ghost Terra type in the code. And you never see that in game, but yeah, they're referencing here, that's pretty cool. Frieda returns to Briar, who obviously freaks out about Terapagos, but drops an exciting lore bomb, as she's already met Terapagos, which definitely implies the events of Scarlet and Violet's DLC have already happened. But knowing that there's another live specimen of Terapagos out there is really interesting. Will that Terapagos be sought out by the explorers? Could we see Florian and Juliana? Man, I'm super excited. We also connect Briar to the kids, as she says she hasn't had the time to get a partner Pokemon due to her studies, which, you know, Dot could relate to, as she shows the unredacted version of the Scarlet book to the kids. Liko tells her that she's inherited her grandmother's dream, like how Briar's inherited Heath's. They don't really say it, but obviously there's Roy and Briar both having a dream of meeting a particular legendary. And also, Briar doesn't really tell anything new, but Heath flashback does kind of show us Great Tusk too, which is pretty cool. The kids finally learn the name of Terrastiform Terapagos and Briar too, and kind of get an idea about how to find the power that would engage it. Thought from Roy's requires from 6 heroes, but Liko knows Rakurium can do it too. They do try and have Terapagos summon Lucius at the Crystal Pool, but nothing happens. But Liko reaffirms her goal as Cleaver watches Oni Mountain. Also, we get another Area Zero tease, as, you know, Briar's heading back. The next day, Dot rounds town, and we see Hisuian Growlithe, who leads her to Perrin. Thinks she might know about Hisuian Pokemon, Dot asks about Cleaver, and Perrin says she'll tell Dot as long as she can take a picture and battle to test Dot's strength. Quaxwell and Leafeon battle, where of course Quaxwell's at disadvantage, but it has graceful movements, even if it has to tank some powerful hits. Quaxwell doesn't give up and evolves into a new move, Air Cutter, which I think is a nice new ranged option. But it gives Dot a decent opening to get in low kick as the battle's over. We cut back to the Brave Asagi where Rose and Voltac was looking at what to do, but Dot's brought Perrin in with a new lead. So this was a nice episode. I don't think it was too crazy, but it's the start of the setup for the Cleavor battle and further mysteries which we have seen in the preview for the arc already. And for that I think it does its job well. Briar doesn't really open up too many new avenues as I thought she would have, but she helps the kids to gain a little bit more understanding about Terapagos, and it still has a big point that there's another live Terapagos out there. That's an enormous revelation. Connecting this research to the kids too through their shared passions is also something I'm a huge fan of. So really, Briar's inclusion is a net positive. Perrin's appearance, while brief, did make a pretty good impression too. I really like her attitude, and I actually ended up appreciating her design a lot more than I did before. But all in all, frankly, if the Crystal Pool is going to be evolved, I'm going to be a fan. Like, that area is one of the most interesting places in all of Pokemon for me, and it's the location of one of the best moments in the whole franchise. So, like, knowing they're setting up with a Horizons equivalent here, sign me up. And again, I'm such a huge fan of them utilising that Milotic Terra type. It connects Milotic to Crystal Pool lore so well, and the fact we didn't see it in game, and they did it here, is just such a deep cut reference I can get behind. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. Maybe not as lore intensive as I would have liked, but it certainly did its job.